Hello, I would like to comment about the NFL protests, uh, which I see them wrong on several levels. See them just something not right about them. A few things. Pardon me. Start off by saying I'm a huge Cowboy fan. This here's my dear old dad, dearly departed dad. Died about, oh God, man, it was a long time. It was 6 years ago, probably. He and I have been watching Cowboy games. He's a huge Cowboy fan. That's him in the nursing home. I've been watching the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, for over 50 years. Some of the greatest memories of me and my father together are from watching Cowboy games. We go way back to Don Meredith, Bob Lilly, Staubach, Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson. Uh, we go way back, man. Great memories. Me and my dad, we went to a few games and we watched almost all of them, I guess, together. When we could, every Sunday, we were together watching a Cowboy game. And I am still a huge Cowboy fan, but I ain't watching anymore. If I turn the TV on and I see kneeling, protesting, even this lock and arms business, I'm turning it off. I'm not going to watch it. And I'll tell you why. uh, First of all, this lock and arms stuff as a symbol of unity is actually rebellion disguised as unity. Sorry, my glasses are crooked, I know. It's actually rebellion disguised as unity. It's unity, but it's on the other side of the line drawn in the sand. Unify over here with us, raising the black power fist. Now, let me tell you something. I'm just going to say right now, Black Panthers are a racist group, okay? And I'll just tell you right now, YouTube, kill white babies, and look what that King Shabazz said about killing all the white people. Black Panther, kill the white people, is what he said. It's right there on YouTube. You can watch it all you want. And if you can tell me the Black Panthers aren't racist after watching that, then you're delusional. So, but enough of that. I want to talk about the NFL and the protests. The flag, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the National Anthem are our symbols of unity as Americans. That is our symbol of unity as Americans. So to disrespect the national anthem, the flag, the Pledge of Allegiance, and to devise your own symbol of unity, excuse me, I just ate some donuts. To come up with your own symbol of unity is really rebellion under the guise of unity. It's rebellion, folks. It's rebellion. It's rebellion, and it's actually the beginnings of a civil war if this stuff doesn't cool down. I'm serious. There are entities out there who would be more than happy to throw the United States into a civil war. I know they are. I know to be honest, that's exactly what they're doing. This rhetoric is getting ridiculous. This climate is ridiculous. I voted for Trump, but before you call me a racist, I proudly voted for Barack Obama. That man, first term, I proudly voted for that man. Reluctantly voted for him the second term. I voted for Obama twice. Sorry, this cam's weird. Twice I voted for that man. Proudly voted for him the first time. I was proud to vote for him. To be honest, the man spoke like a true statesman, really had some patriotic, I care about the middle class. I want to make America great again, or we got to change, make America great. You know, that was his way of saying it, change. Donald says, make America great again. They all got their slogans. Don't let a slogan, come on. For people to think, make America great again for white people is what Trump means. You're delusional. You're delusional. Totally delusional. You have got to be nuts. That's not what he means. People are always taking him falsely out of context and trying to put into his mouth words that they think he's saying when he's not. Anyway, you know, an immigrant, when they come to America, in fact, my wife is about to become a citizen, and she has to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Immigrants have to say the Pledge of Allegiance to become a citizen of the United States of America. That's one of the requirements. So it seems to me that if you renounce the pledge, the flag, the anthem, if you renounce that, in my opinion, you should equally renounce your citizenship. If you can't pledge allegiance to this flag, you really need to find the flag you can pledge allegiance to. I mean, I'm serious. Because to be a citizen of a certain nation, part of that is pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. One nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. One nation. Is that what you would call unifying? One nation under God. That is the symbol of unity in this country. So when you say, now we got another symbol, we're going to lock arms. That's not trying to unify the country. That's rebellion disguised as unity. You're trying to start another country is what you're doing inside this country. That's called a coup, basically, is what it is. Let's talk about why they're protesting. Because blacks are mistreated. Man, where did this come from? Because we were doing pretty good, about 8 years ago. But during Barack Obama's 2 terms, race relations have heated up like nobody's business. And I guess you're all going to blame it on Trump. This was coming during Obama's term, because all those police incidents, the first thing out of the podium was, we got to do something about those racist white cops. That's the first thing out of everybody's mouth. Regardless of the situation, every single time it was the white man's fault. And that has been drilled and drilled and drilled and drilled in people's heads, so that now we've been set back 50 years on race relations. We were actually doing better than we are today. Obama has ripped us apart. And Trump is coming in here saying, I want to stop that nonsense. This, because that's crazy. That's dividing us. That's not unifying us. Now, no one disagrees that there's some police brutality sometimes, but to sit here and say it only happens to black people is ridiculous. It defies logic. I was a drug addict in the 80s. I was a thief. And I had police in my life all the time. I went to jail. I went to city jail. I went to county jail. And I went to Texas prisons. And I was scared of cops. I didn't want to be near a cop. I was a thief and a heroin and cocaine addict. And running around late at night. You know, every cop you saw, you oh no, we get pulled over because I've got a gram of coke in the glove compartment. You're freaking out. If you got a tail light out and you get pulled over, you're like, oh. But since I've been clean since 1991, I quit drugs in 1990. Quit drinking about 8 years ago. But since like the early 90s, well, late 90s, I mean, other than a traffic ticket or something, you know, I don't have any cops in my life other than occasional get pulled over. Hey, you're going a little too fast there. Okay. Hands on the wheel. Can you got any insurance? Yes, sir, I do. It's in the glove box. Okay, why don't you hand it to me? Yes, sir. Get it. You pull it out nice and slow. Say, there you go, officer. He looks at it. He writes you a ticket. He gives it to you. And then I say, you sorry son of a bitch. I know my rights. You can't do this to me. You sorry, man. Get me a... No, I don't do that. I say, yes, sir. Have a nice day. I understand you're doing your job. I understand. And I go home and I eat pizza. And I don't have a bullet in my damn head. You don't escalate the situation when a cop pulls you over. You just don't do it. The cops have a very tough job out there. They have a very tough job. You know, you think you're afraid of the cops, they're afraid of you too. They don't know if you're going to pull out a gun and shoot them right in the damn eyeball. That's why they give commands. They give commands to get the situation under control and safe for both of you, for you and for him, so that neither one of you gets shot. That's the whole idea. That's why they give commands. Now, unless a cop tells you to pull your pants down, bend over, and shove a cigarette butt up your rear, you need to obey his commands, okay? If he says, put your hands on the wheel, if he says, don't pull it out, then don't pull it out. If he says, keep your hands where I can see them, keep them where you can see them. If he says, could you put that cigarette out, please? Put the damn cigarette out. If he says, could you step out of the car, sir? Then just step out of the car. I mean, you start going, why I got to step out of the car? I didn't do nothing, man. F you, F you, F you. You crazy. I know my rights. I ain't going nowhere. Hell with you. No, you ain't doing this to me, you white cracker. Whatever. You're escalating the situation. And I'm going to tell you right now, in many of these incidents, the situations got escalated, needlessly escalated. Now, I do think maybe 2 of these were pretty unjustified cop shootings, but out of 10 or Lord knows how many incidents in the past few years, I mean, starting with Michael Brown, I mean, come on. Michael Brown was an innocent victim of police brutality? Maybe the brutality is when people drill into a black young kid's mind that the police are your enemy. They're bad. They're racist. Don't let them get you. They're racist. You know, you better fight them. You know, you don't let them get you, man. They'll kill you. You know, you then you start putting this paranoia in everybody's brains, and they're all paranoid. Not to mention, if you're up to no good, yeah, you don't like cops. Let's be honest. Like I said, in the 80s, I had cops in my life all the time. I was a drug addict, a thief, and now I'm friends with cops. They don't bother me. I get pulled over in a blue moon for a speeding ticket or whatever. Yes, sir, no, sir, take the ticket, go home, eat pizza. Now, what has changed? What's changed? Because I still got the same skin color. I have the exact same skin color, but my behavior has changed. That is key to all of this crap. When people say, oh, the cops need more training, have you ever heard anyone say, you know what, maybe these young punks on the street need more training? Have you heard anybody say that, from the FBI to the attorney general to the president, in the past 80 years or 30 years? Have you heard anyone say that? Maybe the thugs on the streets need more training? No. But I've heard like 10 times, we think maybe those cops need more training. The cops have heads full of training right now. They don't need more training. They don't need more training. What training? What training? Well, you don't know what it's like to be black, but everybody knows what it's like to be white. But I don't know what it's like to be black. I know what it's like to be black. I lived with blacks for 10 years, for a decade. I know all about everything. I know what's going on in the hood. I lived there for a decade. And I'm telling you right now, behavior is the issue. It's not skin color. There is some racism, but racists come in all colors. You think blacks and Hispanics haven't been racist to me? Really? Racism comes in all colors, folks. And you can't just sit there and blame whitey all your life. I'm all for racial healing and everything, but I'm telling you right now, what's going on is agitation, and it's based on a false narrative. And Dallas Cowboys, man, I've loved you for over a half a century. But I'm not watching anymore. If I keep seeing this kneeling, even the locking arms, you ain't fooling me one bit with that locking arms. That's not unity. This is unity. Standing up, put your hand on your heart, something like that. Pledge an allegiance to that flag. Standing up for our national anthem. If you love America and you want a good America, that's the symbol of unity. This is the symbol of unity. Not kneeling, not locking arms. Those are pseudo symbols of rebellion disguised as unity. It's rebellion. And I'm not going to participate in that at all. I love this country. My life hasn't been easy. It hasn't been, life isn't fair in many respects for everyone. And we all have ancestors. I have ancestors that were brutalized. The whole world has ancestors. You got to get over it. This is 2017.